Oh,
believe that you can win the national election?
I was the Democratic caucus, the Brenda caucus. Yeah, you're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. Get your words straight, Jack. Look, listen to you. I'm not voting for you. Well, I know you are. Do you think I'm going to stand and vote for you? Too old to vote for you. We've acted together. We have never been unable to overcome whatever the problem was. If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight. Thank you very much. I'm beginning to see why your wife left you. The president has that big stick. Oh, I'm not going to be a mule. I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom. That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of I think it's $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and 2-point-something billion metric tons of CO2 going in the air. I promise you.
Oh my gosh. Dude, every time I look at that, that is hilarious. I'm sorry. That cracks me up. Welcome back to Blue Collar Minute Men. We're three guys who have come together to try to help make this country great again. We hope everybody's having a good day out there. Everybody's doing well. Bill, how are you doing? You're doing good.
I'm doing good. Look behind me. Can't beat this.
Justin, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Living the dream.
Well, I'll be honest with you all. We've had some technical difficulties here as of late, but hopefully we're kind of pushing through those at this moment. But
yeah,
hey,
we're working on them.
With everything that's going on in the country today, a lot going on, a lot of things to talk about. We're going to discuss just a few things, basically that goes with the upcoming election, which is the Republican National Convention and the Democratic National Convention. So, I mean, with that being said, I mean, I don't know where you guys want to start at. Both sides had their chance. They had their weeks. They tried to put out compelling, I'm not going to say arguments, because it seemed like to me the DNC was only putting out stuff that was Trump's bad. He's a racist. Trump kills. Trump, he takes away. Trump don't want you to have this. I mean, that's kind of all I got from it.
Well, something's happening here.
Yeah.
Justin, did you see that?
No.
The ending of day one DNC where the guy shows up at the end and he's like, "There's something happening."
Oh yeah. I saw that video. Yeah. I know that guy. He's like some sort of performer on I think it's a show called Pose or something. But yeah, man.
There's definitely something happening.
Yeah. And I couldn't figure out if that was Eric Clapton playing the guitar or not, but I don't know. I couldn't listen to it.
Man,
yeah, there's a whole lot of things happening there.
I didn't think that was
election.
Real. I thought that was a joke.
Nah, man. I mean, they're all I guess they're all diehard Democrats.
Well,
I really wouldn't consider them Biden supporters. It's just that's the only choice they got.
Oh my gosh! But the thing about it though, too, and Bill, you pointed this out to me. Freaking, what's her name? Oh, now her name slips my mind.
Maxine.
Not Maxine, but the lady who basically claims that she's a Native American.
Oh, Warren. Elizabeth Warren?
Yeah. How she got up there in the nice little classroom, and off to one side was BLM, and behind her was Joe. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, why can't they see that they are pandering to minorities? They are using them. I mean, I just don't get it. And, that's the difference from what I've seen with the in between, the Republican and the Democrat side. The more minorities, which the media will not go after, it shows all these minorities that support Trump. They're growing by the day. And we're talking everybody from the middle class minorities down to the, in the poorer neighborhoods, they are starting to turn to Trump. Everybody is, but the media's not showing anything about it. And that's all they've done is, we're here for you people. No, you're not. You're there to get elected. That's it.
The
And they don't
poll,
see that.
And the latest poll has it at 36% in the African American community. That's blowing my minds away.
That's a third of that of African Americans that are in that minority group that are voting for Trump. I was like, wow, that should say a lot right there.
I think a lot of African Americans are actually waking up to all of this BS.
Yeah.
Let's face it. Everybody, we've got to get back to work. We've got to get things going. The country's got to run. I mean, all of this hate, this rioting, this disbelief, it's like, look, let some people, I know there's good people out there. Let those people do their jobs, investigate things, and then go on. And let us get the kids back in school and get back to work. Like, we're not pawns to be used by our governmental officials, whether it be city, state, and federal. Insane. But Bill, did you have anything? I know you kind of watched part of that DNC as well, but
it made my head hurt.
Right?
You know, they went through that entire week, and I cannot tell you one policy that they support.
Right.
Nothing brought up, nothing. It was Orange Man bad, you know, Biden good. That was all it was. Nothing on the economy, nothing how he was going to take care of the COVID, nothing.
well, that's what I'm saying. I would think that if I'm running against you, Justin, if I'm running against you and you're the one who's sitting in the seat right now, you're the prez, and I got to run against you, I would think that it would be me to come up with some type of compelling argument as to why I could make the economy better than what you did. And then explain it to you by saying, well, we're going to cut here, we're going to tax here, I'm going to take these people here, and, you know, we're just getting rid of them altogether. Something. I mean, something.
Yeah.
But nothing was said.
No. It was just a bunch of smoke clouds and talking about how the taking their mind off real issues of, hey, there's so much violence and it's all Orange Man's fault. You know, we want to bring you guys together. No, you're not. You're creating more division. That's all you're doing. Right. And the only people that I have seen, the only side that I've seen that talks about unity, like, hey, all of us come together and do this, is our side. All you hear about on the other is, oh man, white people are evil and they deserve to be punished for what happened 400 years ago. Man, get over yourselves. Do I hold you accountable for anything that you've done? Or, well, that your people have done? Because I'm pretty sure that there was some, you know, things that my family members have probably done that need to be rectified or repented for. And it's just ridiculous, man. And they don't see it.
You know, I just got a news bulletin, one of those breaking news things. Says the latest poll released today from Democracy Institute shows nationwide Trump 48, Biden 45. First poll to show him in the lead. I told you the closer we got, the more those polls were going to start showing accurately, because they don't want to lose their income, and they got to be accurate or nobody's going to pay them.
Right.
And it shows them up 49 to 42 in Florida, battleground. That just came across the wire.
49 to 42, huh?
In Florida. You know.
And you know what Florida mostly is? Minorities. Old people and minorities, right? Oh man. Hey, I'm not saying nothing against the elderly crowd. I'm just saying, you know, everybody knows you guys like to go out there and retire.
I'm headed there just as soon as I can.
I know, right? If I could retire to Florida, I probably would too.
Well, and then, like I was saying, I don't see any progress being made by the Democrats. You would think, like, as we are blue collar workers, we are blue collar Minutemen, you would think that they would try to give us some things that we would like to have fixed. You know, it's not about them, it's about the average person. The average person wants health care, they want better wages, they want tax breaks. We all know that. But did they say anything about that? No. So, and, you know, let's go to the other side of it. Let's go to the RNC. You know, Trump's already the president. We've already seen what he's done in 4 years, almost 4 years. It's not 4 years yet. Almost 4 years. He's brought the economy back. He's brought jobs back. He's given tax breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we all know his new slogan, the best is yet to come. So
well, it took a worldwide pandemic, riots, and everything to bring the economy back to where Obama left it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
And he can bring it back up again, I'm sure.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I got asked this question last week by a friend of me and Elgin's actually.
Mm-hmm.
He actually asked me, he goes, well, if he's doing so great and he's got all these best people in charge, why does he keep firing them? I took a minute and I started thinking about it. And then I came up with this, or when I started thinking about it. You know what? If I hired somebody to do a job and they weren't doing what I felt was necessary for them to complete that job and do it the way I wanted it, you're damn right I would fire them. So I put that on him, and I'm like, you know what? He may have lost some businesses. You can't be a businessman without taking some losses somewhere. So You know what? He's taking charge of this, and he's out front. He's got it up. He is taking control of these situations. And if he doesn't see it being done the way he wants, you know what? I'll find somebody else that will do it. So I'm with him there. And that's what I like about him.
And then too, he's wanting to do it. His whole goal is for us, all of us who are out here.
Yeah.
See, and I've said it once, I've said it again. You know, he was an outsider. He'd already made his millions. He's already been rich. That's no thing to him. So when everybody comes to him and they try to buy him, he's like, no, you can't buy me.
Yeah.
And that's what the establishment takes.
Wait a minute. Carl would say, even though he's not getting paid, he's spending all this money going golfing, and he's just wasting away taxpayers' money, even though he's not getting paid.
And every one of those politicians, man, or whoever was in the White House has been going golfing. I mean, that's what they do, okay? And I'm with them. I want to go golfing too. I get it.
Well, it also brings me to another point too that my brother points out. He says, man, only thing Trump is doing is he's making his friends richer. He ain't helping nobody. And here's my response to that. And this is, just think about this for a second. Justin, let's say you're making, let's just throw out there $200 million a year. Bill, you're the working guy and you're making like $25,000 a year. And let's say Trump's cut these. Now, Justin, you being the owner of this big company, because of the tax breaks and cuts that Trump has made, you can build another factory or something somewhere. And then you do it. Right. But then you do it. And then Bill applies and he gets a $10,000 bump because of your factory. Well, guess what? Bill's just made money and you're making more money because you're able to open a factory. So my thought is, well, duh, you're going to get rich just by that process. It's called capitalism.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So when people
not just his friends are getting richer, I mean, our country is benefiting economically.
So when people throw that out there, well, all he's doing is making his friends rich. Like, well, that's part of it. But the essential outcome is that people who may not have had the better income now have an opportunity to go be employed somewhere else for that better income. So everybody's winning.
And what comes with that better income, that better job, better health care,
Yes.
That's right.
better insurance.
Yeah, when you got more money being pumped into a system, it's being able to just be able to be more dispersed, you know, or dispersed more. I don't know if I said that right, but
They don't get it.
yeah, right.
But
It's got to be free for everything. Everything has to be free.
Yeah, I
Nothing.
teach my daughter that every day. Nothing is free. You know, you got to work.
Somebody's paying for it.
But
Always.
back to the RNC, you know, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to throw out the name Daniel Cameron.
Yeah.
Kentucky's Attorney General.
Excellent speech. That man's he's going places.
Yeah, he is.
He spoke so eloquently, precise, projected his voice. He's on point. I mean, I'd put him right there with Candace Owens as far as his knowledge base, you know.
Yeah.
And to even say that, you know, he brought up the fact too that he called Joe Biden out saying, just because I'm black, you automatically have my vote. He's like, no. He said, I have a free mind to think for myself.
That's right.
And that's all that anybody should be able to do. Think for yourself.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree, man. I used to listen to these, not necessarily philosophers, but some of the brighter minds that we've had in these generations,
Right.
in the recent generations. And this guy said something that always stuck with me. And he said that, you know, they don't want you to be knowledgeable. They don't want you to be educated. When you educate yourself, you cannot be subjugated.
Right.
And that's exactly why I took it upon myself to educate myself, you know. When you're going through college and school and everything, yeah, you do see some things that throughout history that was jacked up, should never have happened or whatever. But when it comes down to it, one, you got to let some of that shit go. It was part of the past. We do need to learn about the past so we don't repeat it. Now, look, in the 60s, 50s and 60s, the civil rights movement. Look at where we're at now. We didn't look at history back then and see what people like Dr. King were thinking, where we were going.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure that the civil rights leaders back then would be disgusted with the behavior that's going on now.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, the things we learn about history, like you're saying, as tragic as it is, it happened. But I don't dwell on it. We don't dwell on it. We move forward from it. And, you know, they're trying to manipulate young minds by making them believe that there's a lot of that still going on. I mean,
there's people out there that have been racist towards me and you and you know other people, but you know what? When you try to say racism is one-sided, you're out of your damn mind.
Yeah, I know some racist black people.
Right, exactly. And I know some natives that I know some natives that even freaking kind of racist towards their own people. What? Oh, you're not Navajo, so you don't matter, or you're not Cherokee, you don't matter. I mean, it's like, really, get the fuck over yourselves. Who are you people? We're all a bunch of idiots trying to make do on this planet. That's what we're trying to do, and we should be helping each other, not condemning. So,
Bill, you got anything? You're over there studying really hard.
Here's what I'm a little bit not understanding, I guess. Okay. The race protesters and rioters and all that, the majority of them is young white people.
exactly. They've gotten that generation to feel guilty of something they never did. That's manipulation 101.
I don't get it. Explain it to me, because I don't get it.
What do these young white kids have to feel guilty about?
Did you see the
I
one?
mean, besides living in their mom's basement at the age of 23 and not doing anything with their lives.
There was one.
And that's just not, I shouldn't say that. That sounds racist. My bad. That sounds like I'm saying all white kids are like that. No, that's global. I mean, across the damn board.
But did you see? This was actually on TV on the news. This young black girl there's an African American gentleman with a Trump hat on, and she's yelling at him and tells him inside she's blacker than he is. Okay, what is that? What is that?
Well, I'll answer that one for you.
Please.
So, and honestly, Candace Owens, I listened to Candace Owens speak about this. It's basically the thing about the black community in general. And Justin, I know you've probably seen some of this coming from your background in Oklahoma and Texas and everything. But through the black community, it's like you got to prove yourself as black. You know, you got to be hood almost. You got to be down with the street. And the main part of that is no matter what the other black guy does, you got to support him no matter what. So if he goes and he robs a liquor store, no, not the fact that he robbed it. Just because he's black, you got to stay with him and you got to fight for his justice.
I stand with what's right and what's right. I stick with my moral conscience, and if you're my blood relative and you go out and commit a crime like that, dude, don't bring me in the middle of your shit.
Right.
You're out of your damn mind. I was like, I got a family to support here.
I mean, if you listen to Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, and some of the other ones, it's black people are their own worst enemy. That way of thinking needs to stop, and we as black people need to hold each other accountable instead of this whole, not snitching and supporting negative things. Like, you go rob a liquor store, don't go, yeah, well, I'm going to support him, get him out of jail because he didn't deserve that. Yeah, he did go to jail.
GoFundMe page.
Right. But like I said, it's got to stop. And I've gotten to the point, and like you said, Justin, I'm like, if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And I'm not going to protect someone or if they're in the wrong. That's just dumb.
Well, speaking of that part, we're coming up on a break. I want to say Glenn got beat out this week. Our viewer of the week this week is, once again, David Bonet. We'll get another sticker out to David. We still owe 2 stickers to Glenn. I'll drop him by his work there sometime this week. But get another one out to David Bonet. And thank you for listening. And I guess
Congratulations.
Yep.
Yes, with that, we'll take a break. Go.
All right, we're back. Glad you all could join us. Nice to have you all here, Blue Collar Minutemen. Of course, we were talking about the RNC and DNC in our first little segment. Justin brought up a good point while we were on break. Justin was talking about the people that were basically tried to be attacked outside the RNC. I think you mentioned Rand Paul.
Anybody that was going in there, especially the people that were confronted that all over the news, was minorities going in to support Trump or support the Republican caucus, You
know what? You're right about that, because I watched a video about Vernon Jones. Of course, we know he's Democrat from Georgia, and he went to speak on why we should reelect President Trump, and he's a Democrat. And I saw in that video where one girl came up to him, they were cursing him, and they told him he wasn't black.
So a little white girl, right?
No, this was a young black lady.
Oh, okay. I got the two stories mixed up then, but yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of that, and it's ridiculous. You don't have, there is no racial commitment to politics. I'm sorry. There's either right or wrong. You stand with what you strongly believe in. If you're Democrat, go for it. Who am I to judge anybody's way to live? But I have my strong values, and that's what I adhere to. And that's why I chose to support the RNC, because I think they represent my views and my views and what I want for my life and what I want for my communities better than the DNC ever has.
Well, it's like whatever happened to conversation and an actual debate.
Right.
Now,
You can't argue it. They just want to swing all games and just feel that they may be losing.
Right.
I mean, there's no discussion. It's either my way or that's it. I'm not going to listen to anything you got to say. I don't care what you got to say. My way is right. And then they'll throw it back on, but we got to be united. We got to just have a discussion. But they won't have a discussion.
No.
How many
I don't think they
fights you guys
could.
been in on Facebook and other places with people who just won't listen? And once you throw out 2 or 3 points, they just start calling you names, you're racist, you're this, you're that. They don't want to have a conversation.
No.
They want you to believe what they believe, and that's it.
right.
Isn't that called fascism?
Yeah.
I mean, to the point where if you don't believe them, you got to be exterminated.
Yeah.
When did any of us say that we're going to just kill off all Democrats? We need 2 sides to this coin. It can't just be one. I get it,
Look,
Good God.
I'm always promoting unity. And I'll be the first one to tell you, Republicans and Democrats, we need each other.
Yeah.
We can't build this country just alone. We need good minds on both sides, but be able to have a discussion. And in our disagreements, be able to say, you know what? Let's just disagree on that. But I'm still your friend, and we're still going to continue to work to solve this goal.
Yeah.
And then maybe later on, revisit that discussion and maybe come to a better understanding or even a better solution. Kills me, man.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're not Native, Justin, because you support them. I'm like, I don't have a racial commitment to stupidity. Being freaking liberal mindset is ridiculous to me. So I refuse. And besides, I'm human more than anything, so whatever.
Right. What'd you have there, Bill?
I'm just going to be politically incorrect, smoke a cigarette.
next thing you know, it's going to be like, hey, they support big tobacco.
Yeah.
No, he just likes to smoke, and I like to dip, man. Leave me alone.
I'd have a cigar in my mouth. I'm in my mom's house, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that
Not
either.
a good idea.
But yeah, man, have you seen that level of animosity? Has anybody from our side like gone in there and gotten in the faces of people, anybody's face going into the DNC? Did anybody see any of that?
Nope.
Nah, man, that's division. That's on your own side. That's in your own house.
Yep.
So, man, they need to think about that kind of garbage. And
Exactly.
I lived all over this country, and I'm sorry, I have been treated with nothing but, well, I've been treated the way not all the time, but I've been treated the way I represent myself. You're not going to tell me that this place is just all about racism and stuff like that. Everybody on this planet has their own biases.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. If I'm driving my car in certain neighborhoods where there's a lot of gang activity, I don't give a damn what color it is. I'm locking my doors and pulling my pistol close. That's just it.
Let's build off of that. What do you think about these pro players? All of these pro athletes now are just, taking a knee. They're walking out of games.
Right. I'm sorry, but okay. if you want to protest, like it or not, it's their First Amendment right to do so. I've got no problem with it. I may think their reasoning is flawed, but hey, that's just my opinion. Right or wrong, it's my opinion. But man, since when did we vote that, or since when did we come together that celebrities and athletes are so superior intelligent that we should follow their whatever they have to say?
Well, and then you look at, okay, a lot of big name athletes, they go to college for a year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So they got an education there, you know, and then we put them in and start paying them $1 million a game. And then all of a sudden they're experts on it.
Right. I was like, yeah, that's who LeBron James. That's who I want to go for my political advice.
Oh, don't get me started. Did you
that
hear
guy's an
what
idiot.
Did you hear what he said? About wanting justice for Breonna Taylor.
Yeah, I heard part of it.
When it's released, he's gonna get it.
I mean, whether it's the individual on the street, a police officer, it doesn't matter who you are, a nurse, you commit crimes, man, you should be held accountable for them. It doesn't matter who you are. And that's just the bottom line. But man, no, well, we're brown, we're dark skinned, man. We're not responsible for that. It's 400 years of oppression. Bullshit.
I was getting ready to say, someone brought up the fact earlier, like, yeah, black people are so oppressed that the NBA and NFL majority of them are making millions for all blacks. So we're so oppressed.
Yeah, I'm serious, man. You know, it was Trump that hired the most minority CEOs to his companies.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember when that was.
It boggles my mind.
Yeah.
What boggles my mind is people actually listen to them.
You're right.
Not that they're out there thinking that you should listen to them, but people are actually listening to them.
Yeah, they'd rather listen to people like LeBron James or Oprah.
Well,
that's because they're staying black, man. They're staying black.
It's for an example. You know, did you see where Amy McGrath came out and was demanding that Cameron release all the information on the Breonna Taylor? Of course, Cameron's come back to her was, I'm glad to see that she doesn't know anything about the legal system and how it works.
He just basically said, sit down and shut up. You was a pilot. Leave the law to me.
There you go.
Oh, man. I mean,
oh, my God.
You know, LeBron James said he had a problem with people telling him to shut up and play, that he was more than that. And I'm like, no, shut up and play. Because when you're sitting with your 3 houses and your 4 Lamborghinis and you want to sit here and chime in about how black people are being oppressed,